with our host Gary Lyon Otto. We're kicking it in season 3, and we're on to episode 4. Each one of them answers a question, Gary. Gary, thanks for stopping by. Look forward to the next question.
Sure. Thanks.
All right. Is the computer hardware more important or the software?
It's an interesting question. Software has always been, it's made Microsoft, it's made so many other companies. And what we find out is that is it really as important anymore? And I've noticed one thing I know because I came from finance after 50 years. And one thing I've noticed is the software companies are having trouble now where the hardware companies are doing quite well. And I think the reason for that is that hardware now, the AI structure, or we call it DI, digital intelligence, has gotten to the point where it's become so intelligent that it writes its own software. And I think, Neil, wouldn't you think that the concept of when the computers are able to program themselves, that is the key to singularity. Singularity means that the computer is able to change how it looks at things, how it develops its intelligence, so forth. So almost by definition, software becomes a side product of the intelligence itself. So my belief is that software itself is going to become less and less important because it will be manufactured as part of an intelligent digital entity. What do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think that so you're kind of thinking that digital intelligence is more hardware than software.
It very much so, very much so. I think that you will be able to take a truly intelligent computer that has no software at all and just plug it into the internet, and it will just randomly take information. And as it digests that information, it will develop an understanding of what is out there and what it is, and it will come anew to being intelligent. I think intelligence itself will overrule the how the education part, because you have the internet that will give it all the information that it could possibly need. And I think this is something that is becoming aware. I think they're starting to figure this out.
Totally. Digital intel? Oh, I'm sorry. No, so I'm just basically agreeing with this, and I think that digital intelligence, because you consider it hardware, because of the data that it's in, the servers that it's on, versus a software that is only could go to a certain capability, where something that's so large, which large language models are, in digital intelligence, it's a bigger process. That's why you
Well,
consider
that's
it
that's
hardware.
certainly part of it. I've actually come up with years ago. I developed an idea of thinking 3 dimension. And computers typically are linear. We're finding out that they're not so linear anymore, but they're typically linear. They develop and they recapitulate in a very linear way. But the idea of 3 dimensional, I actually had the idea of whether it's functional or not, I don't know. But you could take a sphere, and the sphere would have on both. It would be able to receive and then would send in light to the center, a center crystal from different directions. And the result of that would be points within the sphere itself. So you would have both the emitting diode that would emit a light signal, and at the same time it would cascade. I remember seeing this by taking a diamond and using a laser and showing on the diamond, and you have all these spots around the space where you are. And the thing is, you could do that, and you could have all these different spots, and you could represent like a car from those. That this is a car for these points over here on the surface, and then that would stimulate other lasers going inward and so forth. You have both a reading element and you also have the emitting element, and you would have that thing. Well, the thing is, that was the idea of that thinking 3 dimensionally rather than linearly. And once the AI really develops that aspect of things, and I think they look at it as parallel processing now, but it's beyond that. It's really much more It can actually be really holistically thinking. And as you think holistically, you're going to be able to learn, self-learn. And it's not going to, and it's going to develop. This learning itself is like reprogramming. We reprogram our brain all the time.
Totally. Because it's just it's a process for sure. And Gary, the best place people can go is GaryLyonAuto.net, and Lion spelled Lyon. And that's where a lot of resources are available, different information about your other books as well. And they can pick up Singularity right there.
Now I have actually developed the theory of everything. So I have insights that no one else has into how this universe works. So I think we're not really delving into that much. We kind of go into it to some degree. We go into the idea of this physics of spirituality, which there is a physics to it. But right now, I think the purpose here is to try to show where digital intelligence is really going. And we think that you should go here because we ask a lot of questions and we approach it differently than you're going to find in any other work in this on this subject.
All right. Appreciate it, Gary. That was a
No
special
problem.
simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Singularity Podcast, guys. Take care.